Hello, I'm Nancy Hay. I'm the Executive Director at the What Works Centre of Wellbeing, and it's brilliant to be with you here today. I run a collaborating centre working out what communities, businesses, governments can do to improve wellbeing with leading academics and practitioners around the world. And what are we thinking about when we're thinking about wellbeing? For me, it's about thinking about what is success. And today we're using the words wellbeing, happiness, quality of life interchangeably to work out what it is it means or the idea of societal progress and of creating the conditions for people to live better lives, to live a good life, to live a brighter future. Um, Wellbeing is understanding, really simply, is understanding how we're doing as individuals, communities, and as a nation, and how sustainable that is for the future. And how do we know when we're improving lives? Well, we ask, and we ask, how are you doing? And because you can't always tell from the outside what's going on, and you can see that when we speak to people about what matters to them in life, they tell us that what helps them thrive is when they're feeling safe, feeling loved and fulfilled, feeling comfortable, have good enough jobs and money, access to a good quality food, and then they're feeling loved and respected and appreciated and fulfilled, able to make a difference in this world. You can see that we're measuring well-being globally, and well-being, it's going beyond this idea of just removing the ills in our life, the absence of illness, but actually actively creating social well-being. And we can see that that means focusing on a broader range of outcomes than you might traditionally. Yes, GDP, yes, life expectancy, but also how those and other things in our life make a contribution to us living a good life and a better life. It's focusing on outcomes that matter to people. What difference did it make to them? How did they feel about it? And those outcomes are often aspirational. So as goals in the Sustainable Development Goals, and here in the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act in Wales, which includes the new one of sort of the vibrant culture and thriving Welsh language. This idea of having shared goals as a community or an organisation or a society helps us focus shared activity and this idea towards a positive version of progress. And these broader measures means introducing frameworks or dashboards that bring things all together overall. So economic, social and environmental all together in sort of nationally as a full version of our national accounts. It means using objective and subjective measures together. So crime rates and income, as well as, do I feel safe alone at night? Do I feel better off? And this mix leads us to much more sustainable problem solving for the things that make a difference in our lives. And it also means valuing and building this thing called capitals and investing in things for the future. So natural, economic, human and social capital to create intergenerational well-being in a sustainable way. And what does that mean for what we do? I run the What Works Centre for Wellbeing. It's UK's national body for wellbeing evidence, policy and practice. We're an independent, collaborative organisation, and we bring together the knowledge around the world for organisations to use to improve lives. So when we heard people talking about well-being in their communities and in their culture, that travel and new experiences came up consistently as really strong and joyous part of our conversation, of learning about others, of building empathy and connection. And we know that tourism can improve well-being of tourists and of the local communities in both the short and long term, providing jobs and incomes and belonging and pride, and supporting communities and protecting meaningful intangible cultural assets. We know that how we spend our time matters for well-being, and experiences that improve our well-being include ones that are happy, meaningful, create shared interest, about learning and exploring and creating, about being active and getting into the natural environment for solitude, or with family and friends, making memories and building connections. And so we can see that many places now are having wellbeing frameworks, or organizations are having wellbeing frameworks, a wide set of measures telling us how we're doing. And these can be used to understand the full impact that we're having, so that we can do it better and more consistently, spot gaps where we're not doing as well as we'd like, or looking out for harms and making sure people are feeling safe across the system, both now and in the future. And it can help us understand what can help create resilience and support the intergenerational well-being of both individuals and communities. And this means understanding impacts on prosperity, on jobs, of livelihoods, on the places that we live in, and our communities around them. So our social impacts and our environmental impacts together, and as well as the difference you make for the lives of your visitors. How do you know the difference you're making in people's lives? Well, you ask. And here at the What Works Centre for Wellbeing, we listen. We want to understand your learning. We want to see your evaluations, your data analysis, so we can make a proper learning system of global knowledge towards social progress. It's been brilliant to be with you today. I'm Nancy Hay at the What Works Centre for Wellbeing. Enjoy the rest of the session.